Today we're going to do a plopper style lure, and as you can tell we have our reference photo, and guy wants it done in a field mouse. So we're going to see what we can do to create this field mouse. Obviously there's browns and blacks in there, there's some white, there's a couple other subtones. So we're going to see how we're going to do this. I already have an idea of how I'm going to do it. I have a way of making hair, and it seems to work pretty good for me. So today in this video, that's what we're going to concentrate on, is how to make a hair effect for mouse, beaver, or if you're just looking for a hair effect for whatever reason, whether you're doing, like this, trying to go off of a mammal, or if you just want to add a hair effect, because even like if you're doing like a bass or a bluegill or something like that, you can use this hair effect to create certain effects, and it's really cool. I've even done it on crawl patterns before, and it just creates a really good broken up line effect. It's not necessarily natural hair, but it does create a hair design. I just kind of want to show that to y'all today, and see if maybe y'all could use that with your painting and see what you create. So I'm going to get this base coated white. I have the tail taped off and protected with some saran wrap. And the reason being, I'm going to leave the tail, I've got it with a kind of like a sparkle shimmer. So I'm going to keep the tail clear on this lure. I just think that clear tail would really go with this paint pattern that I have in mind anyway. So it might not in the end, but we'll all find out together. So let me get everything set out. We'll be right back, and when y'all come back, this is going to be primed, and we'll start getting everything going. All right, welcome back, everybody. We have it primed and base coated. We're just going with a simple white on the initial design. And we're going to build on top of that white to create all the rest of the effects. So what I'm seeing first is I always like to build from light to dark. There's like a little bit of a tan here and there. And then the rest of it is going to be different tones of brown. So I think what I'm going to try and do, I'm just going to try and dust in a little bit of tan here and there. That way when we go on top of it, it kind of locks together all the different things. And what we're going to use, if I can find it here, yeah. We're going to try this Dermatitis Tan by Bloodline. Again, I use this company a lot, or not this company, but this brand. The company is made by Createx. And clean the top of it off here. We'll get it all shook up. Oops, bump the camera. Yeah, I'm just going to use this. I'm just going to put a couple splotches, so to say, just some tan here and there, something to build on and help create some of the effect. We might wind up dusting it across the majority of the shoulders and the sides. We'll just have to kind of see what it looks like. I've not done this particular design before, so as always, we're just trying to figure it out as we go, kind of winging it, but sometimes that's where the best stuff comes about. So we're going to put a little bit in the mixing dish here. I do try and keep the tops of my bottles clean. And now we are going to add a little bit of 40/40 bleed checker, because that does kind of help with the quality and adhesion of this line of paint. It's just that right there. It just helps it go down a little bit better. And it don't take a lot to go to it. And it does help it to stick a little bit better as well. It's a little bit of reducer, not much. Maybe like 1 or 2 drops. This paint's really thin. I'm mainly reducing that 40/40. Get it good mixed up here. I know there's some lighter tones in there, but I'm hoping that by using this tan, it'll go down a little bit light, and then in certain other areas it might get a little bit darker. We'll just kind of have to, like I said, play it by ear and see what it does. It's a little thick. We need to reduce it a little bit more. That was like some almost frozen milk. We're looking for chili or cold milk. If you've ever seen cold whole milk, that's kind of what you're looking for. Alright. I think that'll work. If not, I always thought it should have. Turn my air pressure down. Alright, there we go. I think we're going to go ahead and just give it a dusting all over the whole upper portion. We are going to leave the belly white, but I am going to fade it a little down the sides. But we're not going to go complete coverage. We're going to leave some dark spots here and there. So that right there will work. Leave my brush out here. That tan, I think, is really going to help set it up. My puppy's in the background. It's Saturday, and me and him been lazy and laying around on the couch all morning. I finally got up because I needed to get this video done and get this lure painted for this customer. And he wasn't ready yet. He still wants to be lazy. Oh my goodness. One thing I am going to try and do is, you got this darkness right through here. We are going to try and just shade in a little bit of a dark line before we come in with our details. And what we'll probably do, we'll probably come from the center of the head like that's doing. We'll come back behind the gill and just come in right behind that fin, or right around where that fin ends right there. We'll just bring a little darkness through there and then shade it just a little bit coming up, feathering out. And what we'll use to do that will be just a little bit of a black ink. If I can get my black ink to work for me today. A little tip on the bottle. It's not clogged up or nothing, it's just the paint doesn't want to come through the opening. I don't know why. It's being temperamental. Switch over to my badger. It does do a little bit better detail work. Apparently it has come out of the tip. Maybe it's working right now. Oh, I'm gonna be fighting with this thing. I can tell. Alright, well, there's a way around that. We'll just pop that top off of it. We'll use a pipette. Because I'm not going to fight with it and then all of a sudden it just all let loose at one time, like I have a feeling it's going to do, and overfill my container or my airbrush. Sometimes you just gotta be smarter than the equipment. Sometimes I'm not smarter than the equipment. and it gets me. Yeah, the tip ain't clogged up. I've actually cleaned it, and it still does it. It's just a defective tip. Get it spraying. We'll turn that booth back on. All right, there we go. Cleaned out. You see what I did there? I just gave it a little bit of contour. That way it looks kind of like the shoulders and the rear legs. Airbrush cleaned out with this ink. And that particular ink was a Jacquard, their Pinata brand or line. It's a really good ink, and so don't let the fact that one tip is messed up. If you like spraying alcohol inks, that's a really good one to use. They're really airbrush friendly. A little goes a long way. You can really build your tones up with it. Just make sure you have good ventilation, because an alcohol ink is just as bad as solvent paint. And I just clean alcohol inks out with alcohol. It breaks it down, cleans it really easy. Now black does take a little bit to clean out, but that's with any type of paint. Black just likes to stick around. Okay, I think they got it. We're still shooting some black out of it. We're getting there, just not there yet. Make sure, especially when you're using a small needle, you get all that out of there. You don't want to leave any behind. And inks do take a little bit to clean out, I will say. In my opinion, they're worth it. There we go. Got it cleaned out now. But you definitely want to get them cleaned out just like solvent paints because they do dry quick. So you don't want to leave them in the airbrush. Alright, now we're going to start doing our hair effect. And what I use to do hair are these fan brushes. This is my main one. It's a lot bigger fan. But then I have one that's just a step smaller, and one that's just a touch smaller than that. And what you can do with these, and you'll see how I use them, is you just stick them up here, and you'll hit the edges, and come back, and the air is going to blow the bristles around. Don't worry about that. Let them bristles blow around. It will create, you'll see, and it will take some practice, but it will create these little lines. And if you just use the tips of it, you'll get some further up into the bristle just by just natural effect of the airbrush. And just let that create the little bristles. And you'll wind up getting a hair effect that's really cool. So I am going to go with the bigger one first. And I'm going to come in here and kind of use it to contour these dark spots. So I'm going to come in like that, because your hair is going this way. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to do this here, and then come back and do this one here. And we're going to do that with probably a light brown to kind of break up that dark line we put in. Unless this one might. No, I think that bigger one will do good. And we'll just kind of get that broken in. And then we'll start coming in, we'll bounce back and forth between lights and darks and brown and, certain colors of browns, maybe some black here and there because there are some black speckles for the hair. So the brown we're going to use, I think, let me see what I got up here. As always, I don't necessarily have it picked out. Decay, trauma. Okay, we're going to get some illustrated colors in here. I'm going to use Decay and Blunt Trauma. And I think we're also going to possibly throw in, well, I don't want to get too many colors, but I do want it to still look good. So I do think that we might throw in like a metallic here and there. No, I don't want to do that. Might use a little bit of this Burrow Brown ink. I'm just kind of looking at my browns and tones of browns and going from there. Because you definitely don't really want to use too transparent of a color right now, because you want these details to come out. So I think that will work. If not, I always thought it should have. We'll start with this and see what happens, where we get with it. Now I do think we're going to use the ink first, because I think it's going to be a little bit stronger, and we're going to use it to kind of break up some of these details. So we'll get it shook up here. And so it's the Jacquard ink, they're Pinata, and it's Burrow Brown. Test spray here and see how it looks. Yeah, that's gonna be a good color. Yep. This one, the inks might not make as strong of a detail, but it still has a broken up effect that it will all come together in the end. Don't require a lot of pressure. this airbrush. I know it don't have a whole lot of a hair effect. I didn't really want a lot. I just wanted to have some of the hair in there. But I want to get that color in there as well to help kind of blend that darkness. These other colors should have a lot bigger effect. That's why you just do a little at a time. We're just about to get this thing cleaned out. All right. All right, now our next color, we're going to go with, which one of them was lighter? I can't remember. This is where my spoons come in handy. All right, we're going to go with the Blunt Trauma Umber. We'll probably just use it straight. Don't want to dilute this one none. So we want these strong. Not too much air pressure. So now we're going to come in. We're just going to randomly start putting hair in there. Not too much air pressure still yet. Yeah, this is why I like my helping hands. Go ahead and get it coated with some paint. That helps kind of stabilize and frazzle the end a little bit. It's not going to create a realistic hair, but it's definitely a neat design. Then we will finish out with a black hair, and that will bring it together as well. The more you use these brushes, this one is a new one, so I know to be a little temperamental. They will become a little bit more user friendly as far as not blowing around a whole lot with the air. You just gotta trust the process and keep rolling with it. And that's the first color. The first full body color, I should say. I don't know if it's coming together where y'all can see it. I'm trying to zoom in here. And the reason it's patchy is because this is different, multicolor hair. So it needs to be patchy in order to create the different depths of hair. Okay. Now we're going to take Decay from the Bloodline brand. We're going to come in with the same brush. You ain't got to keep your hair straight. It just needs to be going in that same general direction, from head to tail. Some people ask me why I fade color so much. I'll be honest, I don't know if all the colors ever actually pop out. It's just my style. I prefer going light to dark. And I'm sure some colors completely disappear. But I still think it helps. Like I said, that's just my style. So field mouse coming right together. With doing it like this, you have to trust your process. If not, you'll wind up getting frustrated thinking you're not doing it right. And that's when you'll start making mistakes. Okay. Now, we'll get that color rinsed out of the airbrush, and we're going to come back in with a black hair. There are specks of black hair in that mouse, so we are going to bring some of that into it. Don't want any of that brown left in there. Alright, we're good. Alright, put these, we'll put some paints up afterwards. That way y'all ain't gotta wait too much longer. Now the black we're going to use is going to be a solvent-based black. It's strong enough, I think it'll do what I need, but it's also able to go transparent, so it will keep from overpowering all the brown, I think. Which is a big thing with using black. You gotta make sure you don't overpower everything, because that can happen. I didn't have my hood on. hope y'all are watching how I'm doing all this. I hope I'm staying in frame for you too. If you have a new brush and it's not gotten stiff yet, go ahead and wet the tips of it on both sides. It'll help a lot more than what you think. With this black, you don't want to go very heavy with it. When it comes to black, a little goes a long way. I am running my contour lines, but I still want to keep them. Right now I'm just fading in some black from the hair to the belly, just to help smooth that paint transition. Hopefully y'all can see it. I'm going to clean my airbrush out. I'm going to put some eyes in it, and I'm going to show y'all what this lure looks like. Welcome back, everybody. I'm holding the camera now. There's what it looks like. There's the tail. Now, how's that? I think that's pretty good color match for non-realistic hair. I said all we used was some of these brushes, these fan brushes, different sizes. I will clean them, but I won't try and get them 100% clean. I want them to stay a little bit dirty. That's what creates the whole hair effect. But, Mr. Alvey, if you're watching this, there is your field mouse. And also, another little treat for y'all today. there's the frog that we did a couple of videos back, clear coated. So when this one gets clear coated, we'll have pictures and videos of that as well. Yeah, that's what the frog turned out to be. So if y'all like these videos, as always, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and leave some comments. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if you liked it. If you have any ideas, what you would like to see painted. Yeah, we'll go from there. But I appreciate y'all for watching the video. Especially for sticking around if you watched it from start to finish. I much appreciate that. Or almost at 100 followers, which for me is a big deal. I know everyone else is like thousands and hundreds of thousands and stuff like that. I'm happy to be almost to 100. So I appreciate every one of y'all. Show these videos out to people. Let me know if it's helping you. If you want to know a technique or want to see me do a technique to maybe help you to figure it out, let me know. I'm all about helping everybody figure out technique. That's why I did this video, to show you how to use the brushes to do the type of hair that I do. But hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. It's Father's Day weekend, so happy Father's Day to all the fathers. And I love all my followers, all my supporters, everyone that likes what I do. I much appreciate it. Couldn't do this without y'all. But time to end the video. I love y'all. I'll catch y'all later. Bye bye.